When Adam and I inherited our parents' houses, there is one room that stopped us in our tracks. It wasn't the kitchen, it wasn't the garage, it was the master bedroom in both houses for different reasons. My name is Anne from Flock and Company Real Estate, and my brother Adam and I began helping people who have inherited properties. If you've recently inherited a house or you're helping clean out a parent's home, I want to share what surprised us, what we learned, and why I think the master bedroom is often the hardest room in the entire house. My dad lived in Cleveland, Ohio, and Adam and I had only about 1 week to clean out the house because we live outside of Orlando, Florida. When we started going through his bedroom, we discovered he had saved decades of old paperwork. I'm talking his entire room was covered in stacks and stacks of files because at some point he ran out of filing cabinet space, and instead of buying new filing cabinets, he just started making stacks and stacks of files. I'm talking all the way dated back to the early 90s from when he and my mom got divorced and he had moved in with my grandma, his mother. He was in the master bedroom. But I mean, just an unimaginable amount of paperwork. Now, my mom's bedroom was difficult for a completely different reason. There were just memories everywhere for me. I remember shopping with her for some of the clothes. I remember shopping with her for some of the purses, some of the jewelry, uh, so many pairs of shoes she and I tried on, and she ended up buying. Then there were some unexpected discoveries. Like many parents, we found money tucked away in pockets, purses, drawers, places you wouldn't expect. I forgot to mention in my dad's house, we found a tin full of cash tucked away in his sock drawer. Um, so, you just have to make sure you carefully go through everything. Not to mention, there were some private items that, our parents probably didn't want to admit to having, but they were there. So, you don't need to be shocked by them. What slowed me down wasn't the sorting of the room, it was just the memories that came with the items in the room, particularly at my dad's house. I remember being a child and him reading us stories every night in his room. And I learned that it was just okay to remember those things and take the time I needed to work through it. For example, we found old employment records from one time he was laid off. It was the early 2000s from a job that he had had for 30 years to the divorce documents that he had from when he and my mom got divorced, um, personal papers, financial records, and it was really difficult, really eye opening to see what was going on with my dad, and all the things that he shielded from us when my brother and I were kids. So, as children, we know our parents as parents, and we don't always think about everything they lived through before we came along, or even while we were, that being busy being their kids. And here's what we did. Adam and I went through everything first, and at my mom's house multiple times because we just lived down the street from her house and it was easy to get to. At my dad's house, we made sure that we just took the extra time while we were there to go through everything. We separated important paperwork. And we did. We took anything that we wanted to keep because it was our parents, and there were just certain memories we weren't ready to let go of at that time, and we said, you know what, that's okay. And then what we did is we hired estate companies when we were done going through everything for them to clear out the rest. My mom's was an estate company and my dad's was more of a donation company because his items were just a little older and less valuable that made good donations. Something important that you should know is that the first thing is take your time. There is no prize for cleaning out a room fast, especially if you were close with one of your parents. Take the item if you are unsure. You can always hang on to it for a little bit and then get rid of it at a later date. But once it's gone, it's gone. So if you think you might want it, take it. For example, I took a lot of my mom's shoes because she and I were the same shoe size. She had a lot of really nice shoes. I kept way more than I'd ever wear, but I just didn't know at the time. I wasn't in the right emotional state to decide. So then later on, I decided which shoes that I really liked and got rid of the rest. Also, it is okay to let things go. I know it's hard, but you also can't hang on to every single item just because it was your mom's item or your dad's item. You have to remember the memories aren't in the house. The memories are already with you. So you don't have to keep a house or a room or every belonging to honor someone. I know what I did is my kids and I, we planted a flower garden with some pretty rocks in our backyard as a way to honor both my mom and my dad. When people inherit a house, they often think the selling is the hardest part. But in our experience, the hard part comes long before you put that real estate sign in the yard. It's going through a lifetime of belongings and deciding what stays and what goes. Adam and I have been through the process ourselves with both of our parents. That's one reason why we are so passionate about helping families navigate inherited properties here in Central Florida. So, if you've recently inherited a property and you're not sure where to go from here, please give us a call and we will gladly talk you through your options.